sure that a major facelift is given to these bunkers, and the government has planned to make sure that these bunkers do not give that old look, because they want to show the delegates that the normalcy that has returned to Kashmir Valley. This is happening under Smart City project.
In a big move for education, the Hemant Soren-led government in Jharkhand is slated to launch 80 district-level schools of excellence which are affiliated with the CBSE. In these schools, the children will be taught in English. Post the pandemic, Soren had ordered the construction work be prioritized. The progress is also being monitored periodically by the Chief Minister. Principals of the schools were given online training by the National Centre of School Leadership, the Azim Premji Foundation and also the IIMs. All students will be imparted vocational training of 11 trades, some of which are agriculture, home furnishing, media, entertainment, automotive, tourism and hospitality. This is a bid to change the course of education in the state of Jharkhand. All right, let's also get you some more updates coming in, and we are now shifting our focus to the poll-bound state of Karnataka. News 18 Kannada's Nikhil Joshi, he spoke to Union Home Minister Amit Shah on the Muslim reservation row. Now, Mr. Shah said that our constitution does not allow reservation on the basis of religion, and the people of Karnataka will vote for BJP. Listen in to this exclusive conversation.
Sir, आपने PFI को बैन किया. स्वागत है sir. As a reporter, I have reported on multiple stories where PFI is accused of killing and terror. स्वागत है सर. लेकिन अब जाके 2B जब कैंसिल हो जाता है, does it become easy for your political opponents to paint you as anti-Muslim? मिनिस्टर जी,
कैंसिल हो गया है.
कौन सा?
2B कैंसिल हो गया है.
नहीं सर, 2B 4% निकाल के 2% 3C और 3D और 2C और 2D में दिया.
नहीं 2B कैंसिल नहीं किया है. मुस्लिम रिजर्वेशन को कैंसिल किया है. धर्म के आधार पर रिजर्वेशन हमारी संविधान की सहमति नहीं है. इसमें ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल नहीं है, गैर संवैधानिक है. इसलिए हमने इसको खारिज कर दिया है, और ये करने में थोड़ा लेट ही हो गया है.
हाँ सर, उसके बाद लोग जो इसको विश्लेषण करते हैं वो बोलते हैं चुनाव के लिए आपने इसको किया है. 2% जो ज्यादा आपने लिंगायत और वकील
चुनाव के लिए करने का सवाल ही नहीं है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी का ये पॉलिसी.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. And once again, we're getting you a Battle for Karnataka special from our Bengaluru studios. A lot of reports from around the city and special interviews also lined up. But the big focus first up this evening, after BJP's manifesto release yesterday, is the Congress's manifesto release today. And what has once again garnered all the headlines is this almost tit-for-tat announcement after the PFI ban by the BJP, that if the Congress were to come to power, not only will they ban organizations like the PFI, which is already under ban, but also they have now equated the PFI with the Bajrang Dal, which is a larger Sangh Parivar organization on ground and Hindu outfit. They have said that organizations like the Bajrang Dal also promote hatred on the ground, and they will look to ban such outfits. That has created a bit of an outpouring of reaction. We'll get you all of that in just a bit. But remember, as far as the Congress's manifesto is concerned, it has also brought in a lot of other elements, a lot of the guarantees that they had already announced, and more softs and promises for the public. They're really throwing the kitchen sink as far as this election is concerned. They are not leaving any community, any segment of the community untouched as far as their poll promises are concerned. But can they deliver and fulfill them? Is it even plausible and possible? We'll take those questions to our guest in just a bit. But I want to break down some of the Congress promises that have been made and the ones that are creating a little bit of a controversy. So the Congress has promised to take decisive action against organizations which are, quote, spreading hatred. They claim that organizations like PFI and Bajrang Dal, basically equating the two, are those that are spreading enmity amongst communities. According to the Congress, these organizations are spreading hatred on ground on the basis of caste and religion. They have even vowed to repeal the quote-unquote unjust laws passed by the BJP within a year of their government. They have even pledged to hike caste-based reservations in the state from 50 to a whopping 75%. They're saying this is possible, this can be done legally with changes in the constitution, and they will push for it. And remember, within this promise is the promise of bringing back quotas or reservations from the Muslim community, which the outgoing BJP government has, at least in its cabinet decision, scrapped, although that is subject to some legal battles. Now this has become, especially the ban vow on the Bajrang Dal, has become a bit of a controversy in Karnataka. First up, listen in to how the Prime Minister responded to this manifesto announcement by the Congress.
मेरे लिए हनुमान जी की पवित्र भूमि को नमन करना ये बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य देखिए, जब मैं आज हनुमान जी की पवित्र भूमि को प्रणाम करने के लिए आया हूं, उसी समय कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को ताले में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है। पहले प्रभु श्री राम को ताले में बंद किया और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताले में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया है। यह देश का दुर्भाग्य है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी को प्रभु श्री राम से भी तकलीफ होती थी और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों से भी तकलीफ हो रही है।
So that's the big debate coming up. As far as the Congress's Bajrang Dal ban vow is concerned, is it a sincere promise? Is it a promise of action? Or is this pure appeasement taking place in the name of banning organizations? And can an organization like the PFI and the Bajrang Dal be equated? That debate is coming up.
I want to make Karnataka a global Karnataka, a Karnataka with a peace, Karnataka with a progress, Karnataka with a positive approach.
बजरंग दल के लिए जो उन्होंने कहा है, एक बार कांग्रेस पार्टी हिंदू विरोधी पार्टी है, ये कांग्रेस ने साबित कर दिया है, इसके पहले भी साबित किया है।
जब मैं आज हनुमान जी की पवित्र भूमि को प्रणाम करने के लिए आया हूं, उसी समय कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को ताले में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है।
First up, amongst many star campaigners from the BJP that have thronged the streets of Karnataka is Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma as well. I caught up with him very briefly on this manifesto announcement, especially the Bajrang Dal ban vow by the Congress party. Listen in. The Congress is announcing that they'll ban organizations like Bajrang Dal. What is your response, sir?
My reaction is that we have banned PFI.
Yes.
That is why to take revenge. You are saying that you will ban Bajrang Dal. You are saying we will give reservation for Muslim people. You are saying that we will repeal anti-conversion bill. You are saying that हम गो हत्या को रेगुलराइज कर देगा, हम गो हत्या विरोधी कानून को भी खत्म कर दूंगा. Today you become officially a spokesperson of Muslim fundamentalist organization. I doubt if Jinnah would have been alive today, whether he would speak in this language. Today you have gone so low, you have virtually waged war against the Indian people.
Sir, That's a very strong word you're using. Waging war against the country.
They are waging war against the Indian people because you are not promising reservation for Sikh. You are not promising reservation for Jain. You are not promising reservation for Buddhism. You are not promising reservation for Hindu. Why you are promising reservation only for Muslim? That means you are waging war against the common citizen of India.
Very strong words there, and Himanta Biswa Sarma was not the only BJP leader to hammer the Congress party on the Bajrang Dal issue. You heard there him talking about that there are no reservations announced for other religions but only for Muslims. Why? And he used very strong words there that the Congress is waging a war against the country by becoming a Muslim fundamentalist voice. Let's go across to the guests joining us. Madhu N. Rao is the Karnataka BJP spokesperson. Bhavya Narsimha Murthy is Karnataka Congress spokesperson joining us. Pratap Kanagar of the JDS possibly will join us very soon. But I want to begin with Bhavya first up. You know, a lot of people are wondering where this Bajrang Dal ban talk has even come from. Why did you even feel the need? Because from all we hear, Bajrang Dal does not even have that much of a presence in Karnataka.
Bajrang Dal is also one among those, personally I would call them as fringe elements, because there have been a lot of disturbances, social unrest because of that organization as well. And we are very clearly saying in our manifesto that we won't be taking a suo moto action just to ban them. But in case any of these organizations, irrespective of who is backing them, if they create any disturbance in the society or harm the peace or of the society, you know, or hurt the people of Karnataka in any manner, it is definitely our duty, if we are in power, to ban them. It is the safety of Karnataka people.
Taking action against an organization, if they indulge in anything illegal, is one thing. You can obviously take action against those individuals, but you don't ban organizations just because one person from that organization does something. The organization at the organizational level has to be involved in anti-India or terror activities, like the PFI was known to. Even if, let's say, a Bajrang Dal activist is caught doing something illegal, you can't ban an organization based on that. That's illegal.
But if the Bajrang Dal, as an organization, comes up with any of these, training these young men, giving them this Trishul Diksha, that's an arm. You can't...
The Trishul is an arm in India, you're saying? So everybody carrying a Trishul is going to be acted on?
You mean to say giving a Trishul Diksha, giving them training, openly giving hate speeches? There are, like in other states, they have given hate speeches. One second. To create disharmony, any society, let me tell you this, it's not against Bajrang Dal, whether it is PFI or Bajrang Dal, any of these organizations. The problem is this, BJP is selective in banning organizations. We are not. For us, the main intention is to maintain the harmony of our state.
Okay, fair enough. Can I go across to Madhu and Rao? Fundamentally, the point they're making is that the BJP selectively took action against an organization like PFI, but there are Hindu, quote-unquote, militant organizations you have never acted against.
Shivani, good evening. I think I think it is but for natural for the Congress party to come up with such excuses. I think it is desperate politics by a decimated party in India. I think they're rattled. They do not have any issues to talk about. I mean, look at the Congress narrative. They want to ban perhaps a cultural outfit without even having any evidence. Now, what have we done in case of a PFI? These were these very same people who let 1,600 PFI and KFD activists. When 175 cases were withdrawn in 2015, June 2015. Why was it? Why was it done? Isn't it amazement politics? We were the same persons in 2009. In 2010, we had registered not less than 175 cases in Hassan, Shumaga, as well as in Mysore on communal rights issues. And these people had the audacity to release all the PFI activists and now to come and cry saying that there's other outfit which is alike PFI.
No, they're not defending the PFI, but they're saying...
The point is
they're not defending the PFI.
We will ban them too. We are going to ban them too.
The Congress is telling that they will ban
in the society.
The offense is not done. The accused is already identified. How is it possible?
No, he has a point there.
How is it possible?
What point?
How do they know about it? Offense is not done at all. How can you identify an accused? Is it a crime? Where is the crime? Where are the cases against Bajrang Dal? Let the Congress party say.
Excuse me.
This is why I'm telling that they are anti-Hindu, And these are the appeasement politics. The people of Karnataka will teach them lessons and they'll see the dust of the on 13th of May.
No, he has a point there. Why have you identified?
Before his point, I just
no,
want to say,
he has a point.
Karnataka.
I'll just pose the question, you answer.
Yeah.
The question one is saying, you are saying that we'll not take an action suo moto, we'll do it if they do something. But why do you have to announce that? And why do you have to pinpointedly point at Bajrang Dal and name them? Then it is about any organization.
Okay. So recently, Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, comes to Karnataka and in one of his rallies says if Congress comes to power, there will be riots. Karnataka is a peace-loving state and it has been one. And maximum number of years, Congress was in power. And we will make sure it will remain one. And it's not going to change into any of those states where riots are very common.
Okay, but
when a Home Minister comes here, and it is our duty to tell the people that we are going to keep you safe, no matter what.
But have you not
maligned
the Bajrang Dal without any evidence?
Exactly.
That's the question.
Exactly.
There have been incidences in the past.
Right.
The mob.
Yeah.
You know, banning the Muslims from business outside temples. You know, these are all creating unrest in the society.
But ma'am, that's the question I asked you.
A common Hindu like me, we do not believe in what Bajrang Dal preaches.
Fair enough. But the question I asked you was precisely this. That obviously any individual who indulges in such an activity, you must take action against them. But to ban an organization, even an organization like the PFI, it took years to collect evidence against them. And then only
That's exactly what we are saying. We are not saying as soon as we come to power, we will ban Bajrang Dal.
Why do you have to name them?
Live home.
Isn't it? Aren't they anti-Hindu? Why was Bajrang Dal named in the manifesto? Please tell the state of Karnataka.
Because we also consider that as one of the fringe elements.
Without even
sorry to say this. For you, Bajrang Dal might represent you. As a normal Hindu, it doesn't represent me. Majority of Karnataka do not believe Bajrang Dal represents Hinduism or Hindu culture. Bajrang Dal do not represent me. I am a Hindu woman and Bajrang Dal is anti-women.
One by one.
There have been incidences where they have created ruckus in a pub, beaten up women, the Bajrang Dal activists.
No, I'm not defending them.
Women.
My question
I
is,
would say it is anti-Hindu. It's a shame.
Okay,
madam, for us Hindus,
one second.
To have that kind of a culture. And
but
Bajrang Dal do not represent me, it might represent you. So Bajrang Dal do not represent the whole Hindu.
Okay,
for you to call us anti-Hindu.
What's wrong in that?
So, okay, you call yourself Bajrang Dal. I am not. I am a proud Hindu. I am not a Bajrang Dal activist. I'm not going to be appeased by Bajrang Dal.
Bhavya,
no
and
matter
Madhu,
what.
I request you to please be calm. Yes, Madhu, you wanted to come in.
Well,
they're saying that, see, for us, Bajrang Dal is an anti-social and maybe even an anti-Hindu organization, whatever she's saying. As a government or as a party, they have the right to announce what they stand for. You announce UCC in your campaigns, right? People can say that is appeasement too.
Yeah.
So they have the right to announce it. Please, one by one only. No, don't shout over each other.
I think this is a double standard of the Congress party. I think, see, this is a rattled Congress party. Let me tell you this. Now, the point is this. How can you even identify an accused even without committing an offense? What sort of constitutionality are you speaking about? I know for a fact they care a damn about the constitution. But this is not the way. Now, point number one. Point number two. This is the very same Congress party who had inner arrangements with the SDPI. I have not told this. It is told by none less than the Congress, Mr. Parameshwar. He told, let any organization, whether it is SDPI or any other organization, support us so that we can crush the BJP. This is what the Congress party is all about. That was corroborated by the SDPI General Secretary Ilyas Tumbe, who told in the last occasion of 2018 elections, 25 seats were, you know, it was all in the nature of an understanding.
Okay,
and
let's focus.
And now they're unto do a sting which no government has done. Why do you want to ban some outfit out of no relevance? I mean, please show the cases which are against Bajrang Dal.
Fair enough.
Please show it.
No, fair enough. No, let me ask a question. Okay. Clearly this is an issue that certainly divides the two parties. But my fundamental question also is, and we'll get you more on this in just a bit, is it an issue that resonates in the public in India, or has the Congress party, by announcing this, you have not much to gain in Karnataka, but you could have much to lose in other states? As a national party, have you put yourself in a soup by naming Bajrang Dal Either you make your case against them via, police cases and investigation, etc. But you've named them, you're saying we'll do it if they do something. That's not how it works, no, ma'am. That's all. Have you effectively projected yourself as anti-Hindu, as the BJP claims in the rest of the country? One by one.
BJP can claim a lot of things. Bajrang Dal does not represent Hindu. In no way it represents Hindus. First thing. And BJP has become so desperate in winning this election after the survey says Congress is going to come in full majority. They're so desperate. All of them have become such crybabies. Like, instead of talking about real issues, they're crying. Starting from the Prime Minister to every spokesperson, they're crying on TV, they're crying in rallies.
Okay, I have limited time.
And they're
30
really
seconds.
complaining about everything.
Okay, Madhu, you are complaining about a lot of things. 20 seconds.
You can't expect better
Instead
from
of
this
talking about
decimated Congress party, who in 2007 filed an affidavit before the Supreme Court of India saying that we do not believe in Lord Ram, point number one. And it was this very same Congress party, the Prime Minister, none other than Manmohan Singh, who shook hands with a dreaded terrorist called as Yasin Malik in official residence of the Prime Minister. What else can you expect from this great political party? Decimated party this is. People of Karnataka will show the lesson on 13th. They will see the dust of the day on 13th of May.
All right. I have to leave it at that. Clearly, this is a very heated debate. We'll continue to take this forward. But I also spoke to some of our network editors and journalists who are going all across Karnataka like me and get a sense, especially in Bengaluru, of the impact the Congress Manifesto has had today. So listen in to this editors' roundtable. The politicians will always, of course, have things to say about their own promises and others. But Network 18's experienced reporters have been travelling through Karnataka. I'm joined by our South editor, DP Satish, and, of course, senior editor Pallavi Ghosh. Both of them have been travelling in Karnataka. DP Satish obviously knows Karnataka like the back of his hand. So let's talk to these experienced journalists about what they think the Congress Manifesto did right or wrong. DP, according to you, was it wrong or a blunder of sorts, hitting themselves on their toes with this Bajrang Dal ban vow that the Congress has announced?
See, Congress and BJP both have promised a lot of things, and they have promised a lot of welfare measures. What some people call freebie, they may not be freebie because it helped a lot of people. And both BJP and Congress have done the same thing because they know after caste, sub-caste, candidate, money and all, they also need a good manifesto to win the election.
After all of those
things. And they have done a good thing. And BJP and Congress manifesto, they have promised a lot of things, and there are also some similarities between these two manifestos. And both of them have at least assured the people that they are going to deliver these things. And as a voter here and also a journalist here, I say both the manifestos look good if they implement them. But at the same time,
what
Congress,
about this Bajrang Dal thing?
No one expected Congress to ban this Bajrang Dal if they come to power. Congress manifesto promises that they are going to ban Bajrang Dal. Bajrang Dal is a fringe organization in Karnataka. Electorally, Bajrang Dal has zero relevance in Karnataka. Even the BJP people, many of them, at least most of them, don't even want to associate themselves with Bajrang Dal. That is the situation here. And Congress has promised the voters that if they come to power, they are going to ban Bajrang Dal. Now, BJP is attacking Congress, saying that Congress is an anti-Hindu party. That's why Congress has promised the voters that they are going to ban Bajrang Dal. It might backfire.
So, Pallavi, I was going to ask you exactly this. You know, what happens in any state election actually today, in today's India, has a reverberation across the country. So, by doing this, has the Congress, as DP says, it's not a big factor in Karnataka, but instead, forget about Karnataka, the rest of the country, they've sent a message that they're anti-Hindu, as he's saying.
Yeah, Shivani, a bit of Rahul Gandhi is reflected in the manifesto because, you know, we know his opposition to the RSS is legendary. But, you know, like DP, I'm a little surprised that why did they even have to mention it in black and white? Because I remember this is something which was definitely, two inputs were given to Rahul Gandhi when he was campaigning here. One, don't talk about the Adani issue at all. It doesn't resonate on the ground. So just stick to local issues. And second, let's not get into any topic which is going to polarize, because it's already North Karnataka, coastal Karnataka is considered to be the Hindutva kind of a zone, and the Congress is a little weak on that wicket. So why do you do it? And you're right, Shivani, is not just about state elections. We are putting that step to the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. So what happens here, the results, if we are going to say it's going to have national repercussions. So similarly, what is being said here is also going to have national repercussions. Mind you, the Prime Minister is not going to let Rahul Gandhi forget that.
No, he's commented about the Bajrang Dal thing already. He talked about how, you know, Bajrangbali is a revered figure for them. and the Congress has shown its true colours by banning the Bajrang Dal.
Election time Hindu is the kind of tab which is given on the Gandhi family. You know that the Janay Dharu Brahman that was said about Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra going to temples and so on and so forth. This is just going to make them look bad. Not just in Karnataka, in the sense, I don't know how much, DP will know better, but nationally, yes, you've given it on a platter now to the BJP.
Yeah, so I foresee that every time now there is an election, and especially in the run-up to 2024, the BJP will remind the public everywhere. And in other places than Karnataka, DP, it may matter. Bajrang Dal, you know, it may be an evocative, emotional issue for the rest of the electorate. So you're right, maybe it could backfire. But other than that, now, if we talk in totality, whose manifesto do you think is striking a better chord if we were to leave the Bajrang Dal aside?
See, very difficult to say, because BJP, a month ago, BJP was ridiculing Congress, even taunting them, saying that Congress believes only in freebies and they will give a lot of freebies to people, what some of them call freebie. Yeah. But what happened yesterday, BJP manifesto is full of welfare schemes and they have also promised a lot to people. Today, Congress has come out with its manifesto, and Congress manifesto, there is no surprise in it, because Congress was expected to announce all these things. But they have come out with a lot of things. Okay, Congress has included each and everything. Interest-free loan to farmers up to 10 lakh rupees. They have also 7 rupee subsidy to the milk producers per litre. Then 3,000 crore rupee project for these gig workers, including Uber and all these people, Zomato, Swiggy, delivery boys, those kind of people, because they are also a very big part of Bangalore's new economy or modern economy, and there is a lot for women and free bus pass for women passengers. All kinds of things Congress has promised. And they have also promised one more very important, Anganwadi. Anganwadi workers, they have been the most harassed in the state because they are being used for every government work and get paid very little. Congress has promised them 15,000 respectable salary per month, plus once they retire, they will get a 3 lakh rupee retirement benefit and all. All these things might work in their favor, and Congress also knows they will have to please each and every caste, every region. That's why they have announced that they are going to, what you call, spend so much money or this much money in this region, that region, on this caste, that caste, everything.
But people are asking, DP, where is all of this money going to come from? You can promise it, but does the state even have that budget?
No, Karnataka, I am sure, Karnataka government has that much budget because they have a lot of money. If they really use it well, spend it well, certainly they can fulfill all their promises. Look at the Siddaramaya's government, who ruled from 2013 to 2018, and they made some 100 promises. And they delivered almost all, about 96 or 97. And it's a fact, you can go and check. It is there.
But let me also ask you, just coming back to the whole Muslim appeasement thing, what the Congress is also promising is that they're going to increase the reservation to as much as 85% today, they said. They were saying 75% till yesterday. They've promised some specific schemes for Muslim women as well. They've said that they're going to roll back some of these communal laws passed by or problematic laws passed by the BJP. I'm guessing they're talking about the anti-conversion law and the cow protection law. How do you read into all of that?
See, Congress needs Muslim vote because Muslims are about 12 to 13% of Karnataka's population. If Congress has got one major vote bank, that is Muslim vote bank. So Congress hopes that at least 90% of the Muslims vote as a bloc. And Muslim is a pan-Karnataka religion. Every village, every town of Karnataka will find Muslims there. And in some constituencies, their population may be 10,000. In some constituencies, their population may be 1 lakh. But you need Muslim votes. And Muslims are their major vote bank. So they will have to definitely do something. And secondly, Congress knows these Muslims are not being wooed by BJP. And if they don't do these things, JDS might get some Muslim votes. That's why Congress wants to ensure that all the Muslim votes will go to Congress. That's why they are doing all these things. These things may or may not work once if they come to power and after the elections. But Congress can't afford to ignore Muslims like other parties do, because the Muslims are their major vote bank. Who are the major vote banks of Congress? Muslims about 11 to 12%, then Kuruba, Siddaramaiah caste about 78%. Together they are 20%. So they are the core vote of Congress. And if Congress gets this 20% vote, and after that they can manage remaining 20-22%, and they can cross the halfway mark, this is their idea. And as of now, Siddaramaiah is the tallest leader of the party in the state, and surprisingly or strangely, Karnataka Muslims don't have their own leader. And all of them look up to Siddaramaiah, and Siddaramaiah is the tallest leader of the Muslims in Karnataka, plus his own caste Kurubas, and he commands 18 to 20% vote share.
What do you make of this Siddaramaiah DK Shivkumar conflict and tension? a little bit of it was visible as they were announcing their manifesto as well.
In fact, Shivani, when I was at the manifesto release, and it's very interesting because I remember Siddaramaiah was sitting and DK Shivkumar was just getting up to speak, and Siddaramaiah also started walking towards the podium, and clearly he wants to speak, and DK Shivkumar kind of, shoos him down. I mean, like he made him go back and tells him to sit down, and he wanted to speak. But, on a serious thought, when I do speak to many of the Congress leaders, I'm talking about many in Delhi and some of them who are going to be a part of the decision making, should the Congress win, they do admit in private that Siddaramaiah is the one. But at this point of time, they don't want to ruffle any feathers because they're worried about, as DP is pointing out, they actually want to have a clear majority. Because the worry is that if it's a hung or if it's a very wafer-thin majority, that's where the BJP is good at, according to them, or that's where someone else may also come in, so they want to avoid that. So DK, I think it's a Rajasthan kind of a Chhattisgarh situation, where DK is a PCC chief, but he still doesn't have that ground or grassroots support as, say, Siddaramaiah has. Just as in Rajasthan, Gehlot had and Sachin Pilot didn't. And this whole rotation cycle, I don't think it really works. We've seen that example of Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. No one believes it. I'm sure even DK and Siddaramaiah themselves do not believe it.
Okay. But, when DP was talking about how the Congress has to get all of that Muslim vote, they don't want it to be splintered between it and the JDS. Do you think the Congress also runs the risk of then again alienating the Hindus by going so all out for the Muslim populace?
Yeah, it's a catch-22 situation for them because they know that the Muslim vote is important, but they also cannot not want to push their Hindutva agenda, especially in areas like North and all of that. Today, in fact, at the manifesto release, I was speaking to one of the leaders of the Congress party, and I told him, what do you think about Jagdish Shettar? He says, we're not so confident that he's going to win, but he wanted to send out a message. And that message is what we are trying to send out, and for very obvious reasons. So they want, politicians want everything. I mean, political parties want this and that. So if they manage to swing a bit of the Hindutva vote in their favor, I think the Congress calculates that we should be able to sail through.
Okay. Let me just take final comments. Pallavi, why don't you start first? At this stage, as we speak on May 2 today, there's still about 5 days of some campaigning to go. The Prime Minister's large stretch blitzkrieg is also expected. Do you sense that nobody is that far ahead? It's a little bit even Stevens. Would that be fair to say? Few days still left?
Like the exams we give, I think the last 24 hours, whatever you put in terms of studies becomes important. I think the last 2 to 3 days becomes very important, which is why they are putting all their trump cards out. Neck to neck, I would say. It's very difficult to say this one.
The BJP would be very happy to hear that because till about 10 days ago, it was seeming like the Congress
It didn't seem like a sweep. I mean, that's my calculation. DP, of course, would know much, much better. To me, it doesn't look like a huge sweep for the Congress because there are areas in which the Congress definitely is not the preferred one. But in some areas, I did find, a lot of people saying, we want a change, we want a difference.
DP, what do you think? Is anybody clearly ahead at this stage?
It is a fiercely contested election because in each constituency there is a fight. Okay, in this constituency, someone is voting BJP or BJP is ahead. The next constituency, Congress is ahead. Situation is like that. Okay, because it is a highly localized election. So candidates matter, caste matters, sub-caste matters, and after that party, ideology, narratives matter. And 2 days before the election, we know what happens in Karnataka, money also matters. And all political parties are going to flood the election market with the money in the last 2 days.
That's the ugly reality of...
That's the ugly reality of Karnataka politics in particular and India's politics in general.
Yeah. The election campaign is truly heating up. I am in Bengaluru. This is known as the IT and tech city, and who better to talk to than the sitting MOS of Information Technology and Electronics. Rajiv Chandrasekhar is joining us.
Thank you,
Shivani. Pleasure
Shivani.
to be speaking to you again.
Thank you.
But this is a very different atmosphere in which we're talking. First of all, how do you feel the campaign for the BJP is going? Because you've been under the gun for quite some time in Karnataka.
No, I don't think we've been under the gun. I think this is it's a good campaign because it is a campaign that is increasingly showcasing what we have done in the last 3.5 years in Karnataka under the double engine Sarkara, especially during the most difficult times during COVID and the floods before that. And we are essentially running a campaign that says, here is our report card, here is what we have done, here is our manifesto of 2018 and what we have achieved. And we have made promises and we have kept them. And here is our manifesto for the next 5 years. We are going to make these promises. We will make them. We will keep them in the next 5 years. And this time, please give us a decisive majority because last time in 2018, the people of Karnataka certainly made us the single largest party and rejected the Congress and JDS. But that didn't stop the Congress and JDS from doing what they do very well, which is come up with these opportunistic alliances and grab power. So this time the request or the plea to the people of Karnataka is give us a decisive majority.
Speaking of manifestos, there's a huge war that has erupted now. The BJP released its Sankalp Patra yesterday. The Congress has released its manifesto today. And they have, of course, promised that along with organizations like the PFI, that the BJP at the center has banned, they will ban organizations like the Bajrang Dal, which are, of course, I would say affiliated to the BJP or the larger Sangh Parivar. Yes. Your comments on that first.
No, look, I think for us, the process of a manifesto is that we go to people, seek their aspirations, and we make this a document about our program for the next 5 years. In the Congress's case, they certainly know, and I think it has become very clear to them in the last 2 weeks, that they are nowhere going to be in the government in Karnataka. So for them, this business of manifesto or the process of doing a manifesto is to say whatever they can, however reckless it is or however irrational it can be. And certainly they want to try and amplify their political thinking. And so therefore this manifesto, they know, we know, the people of Karnataka know, will never come close to being implemented. And so they have said what they have said. And I think it's particularly astonishing that the Congress would reveal their commitment to appeasement politics in such a brazen manner, where they would equate a known banned terrorist organization like the PFI, which is known for its violence, its bomb making, and equate it to Bajrang Dal just because they want to appease the particular community.
But can I ask you something? The BJP has its own ideological bent.
Sure.
You talk about UCC in every state election now. That is also, one would argue, to appease a certain section. So Congress does it to appease another section, and they believe the Bajrang Dal is as problematic as the PFI.
I think the what you are asking about the UCC is precisely what the Congress wants people to believe. The UCC is nothing but an equitable. It's about equity. It's about the same level playing field of laws and opportunities, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're a Hindu or a Muslim or a Sikh or a Christian. And remember, UCC is not some new concept. It exists in Goa. It exists in many parts of the country.
It's a directive principle of the Constitution.
Yeah, but saying that you don't want UCC is essentially pandering to the fringe elements of a particular community who want to continue gender discrimination, want to continue this staying outside the law and have a special dispensation for themselves. We have always said, Prime Minister repeats it, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. That is our political ideology. And the UCC is completely consistent with that.
Okay, let me compare the PFI and the Bajrang Dal then.
Sure.
Obviously, you find the PFI problematic. Yes, there have been very, very serious cases against them and links with terror also emerging. But the Congress believes that Bajrang Dal is also equally problematic. What they stand for, what they do is equally problematic. So what's wrong?
I don't think it's about, look, Shivani, this is exactly the difference between Congress's political rhetoric and appeasement and how we approach things. We don't find PFI problematic. The people who are victims of terror, people who are victims of pressure cooker bombs, people who have lost lives, limbs to PFI's activists, PFI's people and goons, they find it problematic.
But Bajrang Dal also does similar not similar, but let's say they beat people up, or there are cases
there are hundreds. Look, let me be very clear. To try and conflate or equate a terrorist organization with an organization like Bajrang Dal is just so far out. It is like saying the ISIS, I mean Rahul Gandhi has tried to equate the Muslim RSS and the terrorist organization. It is their politics. It is about as far from the truth as you can get, and any commonsensical person, any well-meaning person understands that. But the Congress's strategy is to continue to water these divisions, these fault lines within the society that they have developed, they have nurtured over 60 years. They want to continue to pander to that.
Will it backfire for them, you think?
No, certainly in Karnataka. I can tell you, even for the vast majority of Muslims, this continuing watering, this continuing, in a sense, encouraging of divisions and fear between communities is not something anybody likes. Nobody wants it, not at all, even the communities that they seem to be pandering to. We are all looking at every young Indian, every young Kannadiga wants to look at a brighter future. They want to look at opportunities. They want to have a discourse about development, equity, equal opportunities. And the Congress does what it's doing for the last 60 years, which is essentially the same old politics that the grandfather, the father, the grandmother did, the son or the grandson or whatever the category he falls into is doing. There's a Kannada saying, Ade Raga, Ade Hadu, the same old raga, the same old song. This is the Congress's politics.
Old wine in new bottle.
Yeah, the same old raga and the same old tune.
The same old raga, the same old tune. Well, we'll wait and see how that plays out, especially that Muslim card. But I do want to ask you, overall Karnataka politics or voting is also very caste-based, right? Let's not deny that. Right. You've been under the pressure a little bit because of Lingayat leaders leaving. There's been a little bit of, let's say, churn, things have happened. Don't you think that will also hurt you as we move back towards the BJP office?
No, look, I want to say this. Like, castes are a part of Indian society, and that is, as much as people identify as Kannadigas or Indians, they also identify with their caste identity, and that is normal. That is a phenomenon across the country, and there is nothing wrong with that. And that is because each caste have their own issues and challenges. So there is nothing wrong with that. But what we say, and the Prime Minister repeatedly said that our programs, our development model, essentially is inclusive and gives everybody, regardless of gender, caste, religion, equitable opportunity. Equitable support from the state, equitable support from the government. So Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is, regardless of your identity, regardless of how you identify yourself, the government's dealings with you, government supports with you is equitable, fair, transparent, and you can get the same opportunity as somebody else down the road who also wants those opportunities.
But don't you think some of these Lingayat leaders like Jagdish Shettar, Lakshman Savari, leaving you and saying things, even despite your attempt to increase the Lingayat and Vokaliga reservation by 2%, it will still hurt your vote base a little bit?
I know Jagdish Shettar ji very well. I know Lakshman Savari very well. Both of them were leaders in the BJP. The BJP this time took a decision, very clear decision, that we wanted, our leadership took a decision, we wanted new faces. And so we announced 73 new faces amongst the 224 MLAs. And as a consequence of that, what happens is when you bring in new Karyakartas and new faces with new energy to drive this mission of a new Karnataka, there is obviously the consequence that the older leaders step away. In many cases, the older leaders have stepped away very graciously, keeping in mind the best interests of the state and the best interests of the party. In these two cases, they decided to keep their personal ambition ahead of what they believed was good for the state. So they did what they did. We have no problem with that. They did what they did. But I find it very hypocritical that they would jump into cahoots with the Congress, because the Congress represents everything that they fought for the last 35, 40 years. And it is certainly clear in my mind that both in Atani and Hubli Dharwad Central, that both the candidates, Congress candidates, they will lose, and the BJP candidates will win very, very decisively.
Okay, let me come to Bengaluru now. You're, of course, the Minister of IT and Tech. So I want to ask you, Bengaluru's reputation and pride as the premier IT city and a cosmopolitan global city has taken a bit of a battering in the last few years. Since your government has been in power, there's been flooding issues, there's been pothole issues, infrastructure issues. I mean, how do you reconcile with the fact that the BJP government talks so much about development, but this city, which should have been a showcase, is lagging behind?
No, look, Bengaluru's problems are not 3.5 years old. Bengaluru's problems of overcrowding, infrastructure development, which is not developed along with the size of the city, are problems that are about a decade and a half old. And we have very certainly in 2018, when we launched our manifesto in 2018, we also had a vision for Bengaluru. And we are very determined, the Prime Minister onwards to the lowest Karyakarta in Bengaluru is very determined that Bengaluru has to transform. We need a Nava Bengaluru, new Bengaluru framework, development roadmap, a governance roadmap. And unfortunately, this time when we got the opportunity, we got it first of all 3.5 years only. 1.5 years the Congress and JDS grabbed power. in those 3.5 years, we were faced with the biggest challenges that we had to deal with, which is COVID, protecting lives, delivering vaccines, delivering ration to all of the people of Bengaluru. And despite that, we have done considerable amount of work for Bengaluru, despite the fact that in 3.5 years, we were so engrossed, every man, woman in the Bengaluru government and the BBMP was so focused on staving off the COVID pandemic and its impact. So our vision for Bengaluru is very clear. We think Bengaluru, and our Prime Minister has said this very, very emphatically and clearly, that we believe Bengaluru has to be a modern city. It has to continue to be the beacon of entrepreneurship, innovation,
Startups,
as well as
you promised in your
startups, as well as maintaining and protecting the cultural heritage of this beautiful, proud city. So we don't believe it's a binary. We want to keep Bengaluru as Bengaluru, Namma Bengaluru, as well as becoming a beacon for innovation throughout the world.
You know, one thing I heard from a lot of Bengalurians is that yes, of course, technology and infrastructure and development are required, but people also want a more livable city. You know, they want less traffic, more open spaces, green spaces, good pathways and footpaths to walk on. So that holistic view has to be taken. It cannot be just full throttle development.
I agree. And our call this time is out of the 28 MLAs that are constituting Bengaluru, we want, and we have introduced a number of new faces in our lineup in Bengaluru. We certainly are requesting every voter in Bengaluru to give us a decisive Bengaluru mandate, not have even one Congress MLA, because they come with their own baggage of private enterprise, their desire to build steel bridges and write entries in diaries and have real estate businesses. So we certainly want Bengaluru to be taken away from the clutches of these powerful Congress politicians who have for many, many years held roost or held sway over the fate of Bengaluru and Bengaloreans.
Okay, final couple of questions. What do you feel about the stage of the campaign right now, especially with the Prime Minister's blitzkrieg, you know, in the final few days? And the Prime Minister and the BJP have talked quite a bit about the personal attacks against him. Is that your trump card?
No. I think that the fact that they are now the Congress father and son, Karge, brother and sister, Gandhi, DK Shivkumar and his assorted cronies are all now focused on abusing the Honorable Prime Minister, tells you that they understand that the ground is shifting from under them. And it is pretty clear to me that this type of irrational, angry behavior targeting the Prime Minister is basically because they know that this is the campaign has shifted and the momentum is in favor of the BJP.
Why do you say that? The momentum is in your favor?
No, surveys are saying that. You've seen the surveys after just 2 days of PM's campaigning yesterday. Surveys have shown that we are certainly not just the single largest party, but we are edging to a decisive majority. And the Prime Minister's campaign has revolved around a call that we this time want a decisive majority. We don't want to be again back in the same situation as 2018, where we have the single largest party, which we have no doubt we will be, but then we are held hostage by this unholy and opportunistic partnership of the Congress and JDS. So the Prime Minister's campaign is a very important campaign because it stresses to the people, to the voters, that we must turn out in large numbers and give BJP the decisive mandate that the state sorely requires.
So are you saying corruption, the 40% commission sarkar, price hike, you know, in fact people had some criticisms of the COVID response in Karnataka as well, issues about inflation, issues about infrastructure woes, none of that matters?
No, look, all of them matter if you look at the truth. It certainly doesn't matter if you look at it through the prism of the Congress propaganda campaign. Like, for example, this 40%, I think this is they thought they were being very smart by floating this balloon of a 40% corruption. And when they were challenged by Chief Minister Bommai, saying that if you really want 20 corrupt contractors to be your reference on 40% corruption, prove one point, file a case. Even till date, they have not filed a case. This is the same Congress party, by the way, Shivani, who wanted to, under Siddaramaiah, dilute the Lokayukta. They wanted to take the ACB away from the Lokayukta. We in 2022 strengthened the Lokayukta. And even if that meant one of our own MLA sons were nabbed as a process. If there is a party today in Karnataka and the Congress that's in Karnataka and in Bengaluru that stands for zero tolerance to corruption and a real genuine fight against administrative and political corruption, it is the BJP. I think for DK Shivkumar and a party with poster boys like DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah to talk about corruption is not just a joke. It is mocking the intelligence of the people of Karnataka.
Okay, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, final question. What gives BJP the edge? What is your one thing that gives you the edge over the Congress? Because you've had some anti-incumbency issue, tough tenure, no doubt. And the Congress is, Karnataka is one of those states where the Congress is the strongest, actually. They have a good unit, big unit, some leaders, tall leaders here.
Our advantage, Shivani, is the same advantage across the country, which is our work. And we have worked very hard. Our Chief Minister and the government, first under B.S. Yediyurappa, then under Bommai, have worked very hard, and we have a report card to show for it. We have evidence that we have worked hard, we have protected lives, we have protected livelihoods, and we have done.
I'm interrupting you. Congress says out of your 600 promises last time, you fulfilled less than 10%.
Look, Congress will say many things, but you know that if you press, push there, even one allegation, it's like a house of cards that collapses. They have mastered the art of Twitter trolling. They have mastered the art of social media where they float untruth and believe, like the old Goebbels under Hitler, that if you say the untruth many times enough, it will become the truth. Unfortunately, they have to deal with the people of Karnataka for whom the truth really matters, and they have an ability to get to the truth regardless of what DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah put out there.
So you're confident that the BJP is coming back to power?
I am not just confident, I am 1000% confident.
1000% confident?
1000% confidence that the people of Karnataka want 5 more years of BJP double-engine Sarkara.
All right, we wish you all the best, Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Thanks a lot for speaking to us.
Thank you.
And of course, we'll catch him once again, maybe on May 13th.
On the 14th, of course. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Time now for a very short break. But on the other side is another special report with some urban voters in the city of Bengaluru. Are they happy with what has happened in the past, and what are they looking forward to next? That's coming up next.
Speech, you're rattling off stuff.
No, people should know.
No, of course people should know. You can but spokesperson after spokesperson is going on TV, and none of them are talking about what you're talking about. They're all talking about Nalayak Beta and Zahirila Sam. Why is that?
Zaka, I am the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and in that capacity, may I speak, Zaka?
One second,
Zaka, I am the national spokesperson, and I believe that the people of Karnataka need to know that the unemployment rate in Karnataka is 2.1%. In Rajasthan, it is 20% plus. The sugarcane FRP was increased by 10,000 rupees per ton by us. MSP of tur dal was increased by 50%, Ragi by 138%. I want to ask Aishwarya Mahadev, during her period, today we are giving 10,000 rupees to farmers, 254 lakh farmers. How much did she give? And the reason why we are bringing that Nalayak Beta up is because their leaders, because they have nothing to show about what they've done in Karnataka or in any other government, they abuse us, and we call that out. But Zaka,
one second. I need to go. I need to go to two others. There are two other guests. Let me go to Prakash Belwadi first. Prakash, it comes back to a very simple, fundamental question, and that is, as far as I'm concerned, any voter anywhere in Karnataka or any state, anywhere in the country should be asking himself or herself a very simple question. Has my life changed for the better in the last 5 years? If it has, there is a case to vote back the incumbent government. If it hasn't, then there is no case to vote back the incumbent government. Other than this, everything else is just surround sound, whether it is freebies, whether it is communal attacks, whether it is personal attacks. Is that how a majority of the people in Karnataka are seeing this? That all of this is just surround sound between the politicians? Ultimately, has the lot of the people improved?
You know, Zaka, you've been in Bangalore before, and you know that, Bangalore is miles ahead in terms of development compared to the rest of Karnataka. Everybody aspires to be in Bangalore. All the most important revenue generating economic power of Karnataka is Bangalore. It's really sad. There's not another city with a population in excess of 1 million in Karnataka. And that there is a real problem there. And I think when you say, how will people of Karnataka react, it is very different in how people will react in Bangalore and how in the rest of Karnataka they will react.
Shehzad, so in the last week or so, it's more personal attacks, it is attacks against the Prime Minister, etc., which seems to be taking center stage, not so much issues or livelihood issues which matter to the people of Karnataka. Is the BJP making this into a highly vocal, personalized campaign so that you can sort of negate the negative effects of this 40% Commission Sarkara, which is the Congress's main plank against your government?
Zaka, from the beginning of this campaign, you can see that the Prime Minister, the Chief Minister and the government of Karnataka, the BJP, is going with a list of achievements. There were just 2 airports in 2014. Today there are 7. There was just 7 kilometers of metro rail line. Today there's 56 kilometers. It's whether it's the STRR, whether it's the Kempegowda Terminal 2 airport, whether it's the Bengaluru-Mysuru Expressway, whether it's development funds, which were just 94,000 crores during the UPA's time. Today it's 2,26,000 crores, whether it's number 1 in FDI for Karnataka.
Bengaluru is known for its very old, unpretentious and very loved eateries. So as we try to catch the pulse of the public ahead of the Karnataka elections in Bengaluru, let's try and gauge their mood as we also savor some lovely idlis. Karnataka, there are many issues that have come to light that matter to the public, but for a city, that to a city like Bengaluru, the issues are quite different from the rest of Karnataka. I'm here in Veena Stores, which is famous for its idlis. So as I savor some of them for the very first time, let me try and talk to some of the people. You can see there's a wide age group that is there behind me. Let's try and talk to them.
There's been a lot of developments in terms of city roads, the footpaths, the electricity, the metro. There's been a lot of development.
But we also hear of these persistent issues in Bengaluru of flooding and of traffic, potholes.
I would rather blame the apartment owners also for not following some certain systems and all that. The city is growing beyond our expectations. So I think there could be some minor issues like this, but yeah, way to go. They will definitely put that into place also.
So, according to you, does the Congress have a chance this time in the Karnataka elections, looking at the entire state? I'm sorry, ma'am?
They shouldn't be given a chance at any cost.
No. Why is that?
Everybody knows the reason.
When you say growth, it should also be beneficial for people who stay there. So if that is not happening, how do you term it as growth?
Right.
If people can't have good air to breathe, right. What's the use of earning so much of money? And so I think we need better infrastructure, like you said, holistic approach to development.
BJP government already what they're doing is they're expanding to rural places like Belgaum. They have brought IT park there. For development of the country, airports are very much necessary, and BJP is doing extremely good job of doing maximum airports in Bangalore. And the pollution, you can't help it because the population is growing and land is that much, vehicles are coming. Everybody wants a comfortable life. And Modi is great.
You are certainly a BJP fan. But
please. I was in Congress. My father was MLA twice by Congress. He was MLA.
Wow.
And I asked ticket in Congress for 4 times as a KPCC member. They denied me because I'm an honest person.
I want to ask you, people are saying that this is a very tough election for the BJP, that actually the Congress has an upper hand. What do you think?
Actually, Congress has done nothing for 70 years. Rahulji I met twice. He is not a leader. He cannot become a leader at all. Modi is the only Modi, and he's a world leader. Hats up to him.
We need a change.
Okay.
We need a government change. We need some people who think about the developments, not about only the politics. We want only the developments to be shown. If Modi comes and goes, people think that they are going to change the vote pattern, everything. That is not the base. We should have some improvements in Bangalore city and whole of Karnataka.
I think BJP has the edge.
Okay, why is that? People are complaining a lot about that government.
No doubt, but no doubt there are complaints. But overall the performance is good. And say with regard to corruption.
Yeah.
If you take that into account, no doubt in BJP there is corruption, but it is to a lesser extent.
Oh. Have you been happy with the growth of Bengaluru?
Obviously.
Yeah, we are very much happy actually.
Okay.
Since almost 18 years I'm in Bangalore, and I have seen it how it has grown so nicely. It has extended the boundaries, and really the culture-wise also. I feel that because of being cosmopolitan city, it's really awesome being here.
The 75% BJP and other is Congress and Janata,
75% BJP. Would you like to add something?
Regarding the
election,
I prefer BJP.
What is your report card for the government?
Government will give full support for the BJP.
They are facing a lot of criticism that they have not solved the issues of Bengaluru.
Yeah, it will take time. The Bangalore is not a small city, so it will take time. We have to give the time for any government to solve any problem. So we'll see further where they will do.
Okay, but can I ask you, the Congress is fighting these elections very strongly. They have also given some guarantees for the poor and the middle class.
On what basis they are giving, we don't know. Free of cost, anything, it's not good.
You don't believe that this is the right strategy?
No.
Sir?
We want BJP to come back.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because of everything, every day we see what Mr. Modi or Mr. Bommai has done for Karnataka. Okay. I think we never expected that BJP is going to work such a way so that everyone will be happy. I don't know why these Congress people are that 40%. This is only 1% out of the entire contractor has come out. That too, whether it is genuine or not genuine, no one knows.
Well, at least as far as this area and this place is concerned, in Bengaluru, it seems like there is reasonable support for the incumbent government, despite some of the headlines from Bengaluru and, some of the charges of corruption and lack of infrastructure, which specifically for a city like Bengaluru are the big issues. It seems like the BJP has managed to at least convince some amount of people that they have the right intention to work, and whether it's going to be that intention that is going to be the clinching factor, we'll have to wait and see.
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. Maharashtra politics has been delivered a major shock, with Sharad Pawar announcing that he will step down as NCP president. He made the announcement during the launch of his memoir. He maintains that he is not exiting from political life and will continue to serve the state and the nation. But this announcement has not gone down well with the NCP cadre, who protested, demanding Sharad Pawar to roll back his decision. While the top leadership of the party is trying to convince him to stay on as NCP chief. In fact, Ajit Pawar, his nephew, has said Sharad Pawar has sought 2 to 3 days to think or rethink about the request from the NCP cadre. At the same time, the top brass of the NCP is in a huddle to decide who will take the reins of the party. This has caught the Agadi allies off guard as well. The Uddhav camp has said that the nation needs Sharad Pawar's leadership, while the Congress maintains that Pawar's move will not affect the alliance. The BJP is playing the wait-and-watch game, with Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis calling it an internal matter of the NCP. But since the inception of the Agadi alliance, Sharad Pawar has been the political glue between the three parties. How will this impact the alliance ahead of the state and Lok Sabha elections when facing off with a dominant Shinde BJP alliance? Remember, this also comes after rumors of Ajit Pawar being unhappy within the party and speculation of him jumping ship to the BJP. So what's the road ahead for the Mahavikas Agadi?
की आपण सगळे 31 वर्षात काम करणार आहोत. मी फक्त पदावर वाजवलं तुमच्या बसून मी वाजवला नाही. तुमच्या सगळ्या कामाला कार्यक्रमाला तुमच्या बरोबर आहे.
तुम्हाला माझा निर्णय आता मी दिलेला आहे, परंतु तुमच्या सगळ्यांच्या आग्रहाखातर मला विचार करायला 2 ते 3 दिवस लागतील. 2 ते 3 दिवस द्या. आपण साहेबांना शेवटी दैवत मानतो, आपलं दैवतच म्हणतंय की 2-3 दिवस द्या. मात्र हे म्हणणे मी विचार केव्हा करीन.
मला तसं वाटत नाही. राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेसचं निर्विवाद नेतृत्व शरद पवारच करतात.